I didn't start this channel for the algorithm. I didn't wake up one day and say, let's chase views. I started this because I've seen pain. I've seen silence masquerade as strength. I've seen joy erupt in the most unexpected places. And I've realized that every life carries a thread of story. Some just never get told. And that felt wrong. So here we are. In a world overflowing with noise, we often forget the sound of a real voice, the ache behind a quiet smile, the truth buried beneath layers of polite silence. This is Soulthread by Chris. Not just a channel, a sacred space where real stories are allowed to breathe, where voices, once broken, forgotten, or unheard, are gently stitched together through storytelling, because the soul remembers everything we try to forget. Here, we don't tell stories for fame. We don't perform grief for views. We gather truth, echoes of realities, confessions whispered in darkness, and we bring them to light, one thread at a time. This is for the ones who left home but never really arrived, for the women who carry burdens in silence, for the men still haunted by their father's words, for the children who smile at school but shatter in their sleep. This is for you. Every story we tell is woven from the raw fabric of life, sometimes frayed, sometimes torn, but always worth mending. You'll hear the story of a man who raised his children alone after his wife walked away and never came back. A daughter who forgave the mother that once abandoned her. A confession from a woman who pretended to be strong for too long. A letter from a dying man who realized too late that love was all that mattered. These are not tales. They are truths, reflections of us all. Echoes of your own heartbeat if you listen close enough. We don't shy away from pain here. We lean into it. We walk through the fire and let it teach us something. Because sometimes the story isn't about surviving the storm. It's about becoming the storm that teaches others how to survive. Here, stories don't end with a period. They end with perspective. Some of them will shake you. Some will break you. But most of them will quietly change you. You'll find no fancy edits here. No filters to hide behind. Just voices, stories, realness. Because in truth, we heal. This is not for everyone. But if your heart has ever ached without explanation, if you've ever asked, why me? If you've ever forgiven someone who didn't deserve it, or waited for a phone call that never came, then this place is for you. Stay, listen, feel, because sometimes the greatest gift we can give each other is being heard. Welcome to Soulthread by Chris, where stories don't just live, they matter. Let me tell you a little secret. Behind every strong person is a story that nearly broke them. Behind every smile in a photo is 1,000 unseen moments. Behind every act of kindness, there's often a scar. At Soulthread, we tell these stories. Stories that never made it to the headlines. Stories that aren't sanitized for comfort. Stories that wrestle with truth. Yes, some are messy. Some will disturb you. Some are hard to hear. But they're all real. And that is why they matter. You'll hear stories like a woman who forgave her abuser, not because he deserved it, but because she did. A man who walked away from wealth to find peace living simply with nothing but his Bible and a guitar. A letter from a child to a father in prison still calling him daddy. These are not fiction. These are lives, laid bare, unedited, and censored. You see, storytelling is not entertainment. It's medicine. When done right, it stitches souls. It stitches you back to yourself. And sometimes it shows you you're not alone. There's something sacred about confession. Not the kind you whisper behind walls, but the kind that frees another person when they hear it. When someone says, hey, that happened to me too. That moment, that's the heartbeat of this channel. That's the moment someone decides to stay alive, to forgive, to call, to try again. That's why we're here. We don't just tell stories. We pass the mic to people who have lived through fire and walked out with smoke still in their lungs, and hope in their hands. And to the ones still in the fire, we say, you're not invisible. Your story's not over. Your truth has a place here. Soulthread by Chris is for the people who feel too much. The overthinkers, the heart-led, the ones who keep showing up quietly, You are the reason this exists. So if you're still watching, if something stirred in you, then maybe your soul was waiting for a place like this. Subscribe to this channel, not because it's trendy, but because every soul deserves a thread to hold on to. Soulthread by Chris. Real stories, real people, real healing. A place where truth meets heart, and every thread tells a tale worth listening to.